Don't go anywhere. Don't grab a drink. Forget about the popcorn, because right now we've got Cheya Saleem and John Shink in the house. Dean, John Shink made his pro debut 2 months ago and went 1-0 in impressive fashion with a stoppage with those elbows. The Muay Thai product, having successfully transitioned to MMA, learning how to wrestle and putting really all the finite details into the game. But Saleem, elusive footwork, great boxing, a very, very savvy guy who had a storied amateur career, looks to impress tonight. This is going to be chaos with a capital C.
Shink brings out that beautiful Muay Thai. He's worked on his wrestling, but Saleem is known for his guillotine. Often when you get a person who's done wrestling for not a massive amount of time, sometimes they leave their head out and get caught in the guillotine. So you're going to have to be really careful of that, Chris. But let's see if we can put some of his Muay Thai skills into this fight.
Now Shink very, very vocal about having worked on the submission defense throughout this camp. On the flip side though, Saleem going to try to be unpredictable and not stand in front of the guy who may have the power and strength advantage, Dean.
Saleem has got some great footwork. If he's been working on that in the gym, use it to create angles, not just back and forward motion, he's going to have success.
Particularly from the southpaw stance, which could be a factor.
Again, if you fight somebody who's southpaw, you have to circle the wrong way and the punches are going to come from the other side. So let's hope Shink, he's a memorable striker, a really high level guy, so I'm sure he's counted for that.
It's going to be an open stance matchup. It's going to be absolute pandemonium. Don't go anywhere. It's going down tonight in the MMAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the next bout of the evening. Please welcome to K-side, Cheya Saleem.
Pro debut tonight for Cheya Saleem, and Dean, we talked about it during the introduction just a few moments ago, but this guy is so dangerous in all areas. It's the movement, it's the footwork, that southpaw stance, improved clinch and wrestling. This guy is so dangerous no matter where this contest happens.
Really evasive fighter, such fast hands, don't blink because you're going to miss him, and he couples that perfectly with great footwork.
And you love to see that at bantamweight, the kind of power that this guy has, the activity off his back if you take him down. So dangerous with submissions, hands and feet, real thunderous knockout power. I'm telling you, you couldn't write the 2 letters KO quick enough for the way that this guy will finish you. So, really excited to see what he's got on the cards for his opponent. And when we bring him out in a moment, you're going to find out why.
And his opponent, please welcome to K-side, John Shink.
John Shink. It takes 2 to tango, Dean, and John 1-0 at pro, going successful just a couple of months ago, as we said. I love this kid. I mean, we called his fights back in the day in K1, Muay Thai. I believe it was C-class Muay Thai rules. Shink, a real animal, a physical specimen. Great power, nasty elbows, brutal top control. And John really showing off diversification through evolution in his career.
Really transitioned to MMA from the Muay Thai background excellently. Puts in the hard work, wrestling on the mat, very evasive, is able to adapt to any style going. Tonight is just another fight for me. I'm looking to fight good opponents in order to move up the rankings and make my way to the top. As he said to us before the fight's commenced.
The thing we like about Shink is his ability to bully and control his opponent, you know? I think given the unpredictability of his opponent, it's going to give Shink a real test. They both are very physically strong for this weight. Shink, explosive in every sense of the word. A mirror image, really, of his opponent in that department. So let's get back and holler at Buddy Johnson to get things going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get ready for 3 5-minute rounds in the professional bantamweight division. This bout sponsored by Roar and Roar Fightwear. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this man weighing officially at 57.4 kilograms. Making his professional debut this evening, fighting out of Birmingham, England, he is Cheya Saleem. And his opponent, fighting out of the right corner, this man weighing officially at 57 kilograms and has a professional record of 1 win with no loss and no draws. fighting out of and representing Nigeria, he is John Shink. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Leon Roberts.
And the numbers here, a pro debut for Cheya Saleem after a very successful amateur career. This bout at 61 kilograms, bullfighters 26. Shink 1-0 with a TKO last time around in the second. Will he be able to make it a repeat factor here tonight against the very dangerous competitor from Birmingham in Cheya Saleem?
John Shink sitting out in southpaw, bouncing in and out for that range. Needs to be careful of those shots over the top if he's going to have his hands low like that on the outside.
Shink very fluid, as we said, with those combinations.
Big knee.
But the clinch control of Cheya Saleem cannot be underestimated. Shink is super, super strong and a bit more stocky than Saleem. But Saleem is a monster. This guy gets a hold of you, the grip, even just the grip strength of this kid.
Got massive gorilla strength. You see there, he'll lean over his opponent almost like with the top of his body, but his core is so strong. Oi, as he goes to the back there, he's so strong he can almost levitate and punch down. Big takedown there from John Shink. And he's got a smile on his face as he sits there in side control. Some great jiu-jitsu skills displayed by Shink.
Shink going to work on that arm, thought about spinning for the arm lock. On the flip side though, Cheya Saleem gets the stand up off that one.
We go here, this is where Shink is fruitful in this clinch. Watch the knees come through. Big knees there from the plum clinch. Gives up the takedown. Cheya Saleem eating those knees like he was at a feast and then gets the takedown.
But the cost, certainly, of those knees from Shink was giving up that takedown, but a great job of using those elevator hooks to create space and distance and get back up to the feet.
Shink is so explosive. Nice leg kick there. Take the spring. Way return from Cheya. Hey, nice question mark kick. Whoa. I'm just astounded that these two fighters, they've got great chins and they're exchanging here in the pocket. Oi. Big weighted
left
punches.
hook from Saleem. The connections from both men would have dropped, in my opinion, anybody lesser at this weight, because these guys have got so much power. I mean, everything is being thrown to finish the fight here, Dean.
Big knee on the inside by Saleem. He's looking for that hip toss, but the scrambles of Shink are second to none. Shink looking for that double underhooks. Saleem very savvy in the clinch position. I mean, Shink is a renowned Muay Thai fighter, but Saleem is hanging here.
The thing about Saleem is, though, every single time Shink gives him one or two strikes, there's almost like a little button that seems to be turned on. And Saleem just goes back even harder.
Oi, knees, beautiful from Shink.
And I'm sort of sitting here in awe right now at the connections of both men. And the amount of times they've been able to flip each other around against the fence. The control, the collar tie of Saleem. And then the way Shink gets inside with the double Muay Thai plum. I'm just impressed. I'm impressed all over with the way these guys connect and make decisions on the fly.
This fight is shaping up to everything we thought it would be. Back and forth. Saleem just looking for that hip toss from the Wizard, but Shink sensing it. Looking to stand up. Might go for the takedown. It's difficult up against the cage like that.
And the control and jockeying for position, really. A contest of the wills. And the knees from Shink. I mean, those just look painful. You can hear them. And look at Shink drag him down. Jumps on his back. And gets the choking arm, and he's got a short choke here, Dean.
That looks like it's tight.
That looks really tight.
It's on the chin at the moment. Shink looking to pull the arm off to alleviate the pressure.
He's got to get that full figure four. He's got to get the scissor. By that I mean getting the non-choking arm all the way behind the neck. Or go palm to palm. But Saleem able to tuck his chin, defend long enough. And Shink certainly getting him in the hurt lock a little bit with those short strikes.
Shink able to just demonstrate power from close and far. One of the things he's brung from his Thai background is he's just able to throw in power. And here, look, this rear naked choke is tight now, Chris. See, it's underneath the chin now. But Saleem's doing the right thing. He's trying to turn out the escape. He's going to try and flatten his hips onto the leg of Shink, the right leg there, and he'll try to shimmy out. So now the choke's off. Shink senses that, looks for the mount, takes it. Wow.
Explosive. The transitions, the reversals, the scrambles. I mean, these guys have traded dominant position at least 30 or 40 times, I feel like, in this fight. Whether that was in the clinch against the mesh, up against the wire, on the canvas. I mean, I'm just getting tired watching them.
Saleem looking down at the floor as these fighters break for the first round. Now, you've got to think about the confidence of these two fighters. They're pro. They've been here before many times in their amateur careers. They've tied up. They've exchanged knees. They need to start implementing their own individual game plans now. If you have more success with the grappling side, you need to take the fight down and win, because all bets are off. The stakes are high in the pro division, and you can't make mistakes.
So, Dean, thinking about what was effective for both men, it seemed to me the clinch was both at times useful. The knees were there, the takedowns were there, but both found success in the same departments. So how do you begin to differentiate into round two?
You never know how much those knees will hurt a fighter unless he drops. I mean, if you saw Saleem, he took a lot of those knees and he returned fire, but they weren't as hard. The technique wasn't as good, which transitions to the power not being as good. How many more of those can he take?
Leon Roberts in charge here. Chris Hoekstra on the mic with Dean Midhat tonight. A smile from Shink, a look of determination from Saleem.
Nice waded in hooks there from Saleem, but he's just charging forward a bit too much. He's to pick his shots. Shink now has grown in confidence as this fight has progressed.
I love the way Shink moves his head off the center line throughout these exchanges. Oh, showing the level change and then intercepting with the left hook. Then the level change, tried that outside trip. Thought about the mirror lock for a moment there off his back, but I think far too slippery at this point.
Saleem now in the guard of Shink. Looking to work up, see if he rises up and tries to strike, but Shink doing the right thing of overhooking the right arm of Saleem. Both fighters sweaty now, so it shouldn't be a factor of them getting so much friction on their bodies. Big elbows there from Saleem. That's what he needs to do. He needs to keep Shink busy, not let him sediment in a technique. And think about on the offense, he wants him to be defending, landing the damage from the top position. Looks good on the judges' scorecards.
On the flip side, I think it seems important, Dean, to consider the value of these exchanges. Shink certainly was able to come out on top in the clinch. On the flip side right now, although it's still pretty even on the ground as far as threatening with submissions or passes, the dominant top control has worked out thus far for Saleem.
Saleem now sensing he needs to up the game. This is exactly what he needs to be doing, not scrambling too much and letting Shink capitalize in those scrambles. He's really fast. He's to completely dominate him and keep him pinned there and land these shots. See like
again,
there.
Exactly. Shink thought about the hip escape. He thought about a technical stand-up. Saleem tries to control him.
Shink perhaps going for a triangle here, looking to pin that arm through. Saleem senses it, drives his arm back to the mat, back to full guard.
And this is the hard work of MMA. This is the unwritten rule of MMA that sometimes you've got to follow as a fighter. It ain't pretty, but it's effective. And this is sometimes in a fight what it takes to win, plain and simple. So I like the adjustments Saleem has made here. He's got the wrestling going on. He's slowing Shink down. And more importantly, he's not giving up position. Again, Shink opens his guard. Saleem stands up. And Shink inverting possibly for a leg here, but Saleem will just sit right down on that.
Just to be careful now, he's exposed his face. Saleem's going to look down to learn some hammer fists and hooks to the face of Shink. Big elbow there from Saleem. Landing some great shots from the guard position.
And Shink is laughing at him there off his back, but make no mistake, this is a much better round for Saleem as far as at least being able to disallow Shink from his ace. That was the knees. And you can see Shink working for some sort of open guard here. And Saleem going to work on that front headlock. Cupping the chin, I like it. Shink senses that, turns away.
Shink looking for that single leg. Going for the high crotch. Outside reap. Looking to take this fight to the ground.
And a smile from Saleem.
Big knee on the inside. Oy. Those knees of Shink just penetrate much deeper than Saleem's.
That being said, though, it's compelling to watch the pummeling going on right now. I mean, on one hand, you're waiting for a disconnect like that for one of those guys to land heavy leather. But on the other, it's quite beautiful to see the struggle happening up as they both try to take each other down.
Beautiful art of kinetic chess.
Just
again.
like that. Yep.
Oi, that was a beautiful elbow from Shink. Amazing. Goes for it again. Saleem goes for the takedown. Wow.
Shink doing a great job using that 100%er there on the left arm. It gets the sweep. Look at this. Rolls in. He's got an arm there, Dean. Possible Kimura or an arm bar. Tough to see.
Looking to reap the arm out there, so be careful he doesn't get shaken off and he'll end up on his back. Shink now coming
Inverted
back
triangle.
up, looking for the inverted triangle, cinches it up.
Very nice here. Shink's got that one on, man. He's got the figure four locked up. It's in the right position. He's got the arm underneath and in the correct area. What he's got to do here is sit up and then push the head down. Much too slippery, though. Great escape for Saleem.
Toughed it out there. He's doing a good thing of holding his arm to his own ear, almost like he was answering the phone. Alleviates the pressure from the artery from your own shoulder. Great defensive jiu-jitsu by Saleem. And Shink has really come to fruit in his BJJ game.
And, you know, being a stand-up fighter, Dean, that had to be the area of concentration for this young guy coming up to MMA, working through the amateur ranks, getting to the pro level. Now, I want to pick your brain. You're Saleem. You got the takedown. You land up in the closed guard. You control your man. You're tired. How do you win the fight in this position if he does that again in the third?
You got to avoid the clinch. If you ever seen Clay Guida fight, exactly that. Take him down and pound him out from the top, and don't give up too much. Don't throw up submissions or aesthetic passes that might help your opponent to escape and capitalize. He needs to, it's not pretty, it's not beautiful. He's got to take his opponent down and ground and pound.
Now on the flip side, can Shink afford to continue to use those elbows and the clinch, the kicks, at risk of being taken down? That seemed to work very well in the first, less so in the second. How does he do it in the third?
Shink has got to be more precise. We've seen his picture-perfect elbows on the inside. He's got power and he's got the technique. He just needs to place those punches a bit more carefully and don't overcommit so Saleem cannot come in for the takedown.
We continue here, 5 more minutes if necessary at the UK's MMAC.
So now Shink's on the outside. He's through that leg kick from the outside. He's keeping his distance away. He doesn't want to get into a grappling war with Saleem and end up on the bottom. Nice uppercut. Big hooks there. Nice sprawl. See if he breaks away here. Yep. Beautiful in the pocket boxing from Shink. Keeping his distance really well. Saleem answering back with a leg kick of his own.
I like the lead leg kick of Saleem when he's orthodox. It's very quick. And then Shink attacks the rear leg. Saleem shows the takedown from outside.
Big knee. Oi, the big elbows and the knees from Shink punishing Saleem up against the cage.
And Shink does a great job, doesn't he, of locking in that plum. And then the elbow is very efficient from that control. He doesn't draw back for a punch.
Very aware of his distance is Shink, as he's showing here now, cutting his opponent off. Big head kick.
And an inside low kick. I like the footwork from Shink.
Whoop. Oh! Big left hook there. Oi! Swing and a miss from Saleem. Had some success with that left hook. It wobbled Shink there for a bit.
And look at Saleem drive in here right in front of the commentary position, Dean. He's going to look to try to pull him away from the edge of space, just like that.
Now Saleem's chance to hit that big punch, swing and a miss, and he used it to take his opponent down, and now, where he was having success from, ground and pound from the top. To stop his arms being tied up, and land some decisive punches.
And big ground and pound for Shink. Shink doing a great job of controlling here. That Z-guard is a good spot, but it ain't so good when your face is up against the wire.
Turn of events, Shink switched that position round. Now again, he's riding the back of Saleem, putting those punches. Nice sneak underneath the armpit there. Looking to get the one hook in.
And they're right in front of our commentary position here, Dean, battling it out, and Shink no hooks in.
Big punches from Shink on the top.
I stand corrected, the right hook in. And you can see from the monitor angle, Dean, he's trying to sneak that left arm underneath the chin and open up the choke. Great job from Saleem to escape, though. This has been the most scrappy fight of the night thus far.
That was to the body. You can't knee the head of a down opponent, but the referee deemed that was to the chest.
And Shink, certainly at this point, the look on his face.
Big knee.
That of a fighter who really thinks he's running away with it right now. I'm telling you though, Saleem is a warrior. That guy has been in there an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Back and forth war from these guys. Oy! Big uppercut from Shink, going in for the knee. Saleem covering up here.
And Shink accurate as you recommended, Dean. But Saleem able to get a hold of him here and put him down.
Saleem waiting for his ample opportunity when Shink let his guard down just for a second. Could be the fatigue creeping in now.
You know, we've got less than 2 minutes in this fight yet, Dean. Saleem's corner calling for him to keep him there at all costs. They do not want Shink back moving.
Saleem looking to control there. And still think about coming on the inside for the underhook.
And more importantly, they do not want Saleem on the back foot.
Take the back, got one hook in, Shink. Granby rolling out of it beautifully. And he turns it around. Nice, beautiful. Oh, he got his head trapped. No. Saleem threatening with the guillotine. Sony's still in this fight, Chris.
And Saleem's corner calling for him to get up as quick as possible because this is really a dangerous position for Shink. Those elbows. And then again, the back take. Shink thinking about the short choke and smiling right in front of our commentary position.
Big shots here from Shink. The referee looking on intently. Saleem diligently trying to work out of this position. Working for the head. Big elbows from the top. Beautiful. Shink doesn't want any of that, so he opts for the takedown.
As we said earlier in the first round, the amount of times these guys have traded dominant positions has been breathtaking, mesmerizing. I'm out of breath just watching it and talking.
Shink now using that downward pressure of his shoulder and his head to keep Saleem to do some shots. Might look for the knee to the body.
And that's the end of the fight.
Wow. Absolute war, back and forth, as you said, Chris. Sweeps, attempted submissions, striking games. It was just a back and forth war.
And the energy expenditure to go in there and do that, and do it for 15 minutes straight, Dean, put that in perspective.
That's the difference between the amateurs and the pros. They have a chance to do this professionally, full time, all the time. So they get a time to work on their conditioning, train twice a day, perhaps sometimes more. So they've got more in the gas tank. But Saleem was relentless, the pressure, the pace throughout of the defending, and indeed when he was on top, the attacking. Shink equally just with precision strikes. I love those elbows over the top. Absolutely mesmerizing to watch.
Now, you've got to look at really how rounds 1 and 2 went. We felt Shink probably stole the first. The second was closer. Saleem had a much better time on top for probably a little bit more than half the round by my estimation. The third, though, Shink caused a lot of problems, it seemed, with some of the ground and pound, the elbows. Saleem was in it, but did Shink do enough in the third, do you think, Dean?
Shink showed that he could dominate, and even when he was in trouble on the bottom, he was able to switch that position much faster than Saleem could. So I think that would be the key here, Chris.
Back to Buddy Johnson. The scores are in.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got to give it up to these two warriors this evening. Come on! 3 exciting rounds, and we go to our judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-28 to your winner by unanimous decision in the red corner.